Welcome to a Train Sim World news. We've got more news on the Train Sim World 5. Houston, we have a Pendolino. This news article came out 2 hours ago, so I'm recording it straight now, so you can see everything and my reactions in real time. Please remember, these are my views and my opinions. I'm just going to read through the article, look at the pictures and say what I think and what I like or dislike. If you're going to get butthurt, please don't watch the video. If you want to have a discussion about it, please by all means discuss with me in the comments, but please keep it respectful. So let's get straight into it. It came out about 2 hours ago, so it's lucky I came and checked it, really, isn't it? The way how long it takes me to edit and upload video. It don't take me long to edit, but once I've edited it, it takes a while for the computer to piece it together using what I use, and then it takes a while to upload to YouTube. So hopefully I should be able to get out in the next couple of hours. Let's have a look. You see there the Pendolino in the rain and some cows. So it's not a screenshot. I think is that a screenshot? No, I think that's just an artist design, really, and I don't think that's like a screenshot or anything. Unless they're really getting really big updates on that new camera updates, new photo mode. One of the most requested trains come to Train Sim World 5 Deluxe Edition layering on into the busy West Coast main line, along with plenty of other trains and services. In this article, we'll dive deep into the West Coast Main Line South timetable, outlining all the trains you'll get and opportunities for layering from other Train Sim World add-ons. We also take a look at brand new mode of gameplay in Conductor mode. TSW 5 Death Diaries Episode 1 is out now on YouTube. Before we jump into the West Coast Mainline action, take a look at our first of our 3 development diaries, where we'll hear from the team about how bringing features, trains and routes into Train Sim World. In Episode 1, we hear more about the recording trip Adam and the team took to Los Angeles in 2023, as well as from Matt and Chris about bringing some of Train Sim World 5's highly requested new features to players for the first time. So the route, West Coast Mainline South, London, Houston, Milton Keynes, and we went through this in the TSW 5 announcement and the roadmap. So just quick summary, I'm not going to go through all the stations again, but quick summary: complex layout with London, Houston across Milton Keynes, busy mainline commute action on 4-track West Coast Main Line, full London Overground lines, full Underground Lioness line included. Don't know why it's called Lioness. Is that one of the new names for the Overground line on there? I don't know what it was called before, but apparently it's called the Lioness line now. Deluxe Edition players drive the new Advanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino and Class 710 layer available for Goblin route owners. London, UK, 50 miles, 8 km, 28 train stations, and BR Class 350/1, Southern BR Class 377/2, DB Cargo BR Class 66 and FKA wagons, and London Underground 1972 MK2 stock. And I do hope, like I said, I really do hope that the 350 and the Pendolino will layer onto the Birmingham Cross City line, so we can have some more trains in Birmingham, and also the 390 up in Scotland. Even if it's just AI, it'll still be good to see and adds to the busyness of the stations. Train Sim World has gone from east to west following on from the incursion of a stretch of the East Coast Main Line in Train Sim World 4. This time we've moved over to the equally impressive, historic and intensive West Coast Main Line between London, Houston and Milton Keynes. Shame they couldn't do it all the way to Birmingham, really, isn't it? And my last video, hint hint, go check it out, was Train Sim Classic, Birmingham to London Euston in a Pendolino. The arterial route connecting some of British major cities to London has seen plenty of action from its initial opening through to today's services, with numerous amendments and redevelopments of stations along the way, as well as the ever-changing rolling stock that use it. We've got 350 there. I can't see the branding though. I don't know if it's London Midland or West London Midland, whatever it's called, or whether it's Avanti. So I can't see. We've seen this picture before, obviously. Can't zoom in or anything on it though, unfortunately. Its existence is formed from a number of different railway lines that were built and then merged during the mid-19th century. 100 years later, between the 1950s and 1970s, the route was modernised and electrified to accommodate more advanced rolling stock, including some of the first tilting trains to operate in the UK. This technology eventually saw the introduction of Pendolino trains in 2002. And that's a new screenshot. Still can't see no branding on those 350s. How's that? London Euston. As its southern end, London Euston adds yet another London terminus to TrainSim World, and I will be adding now to my playlist on TrainSim Classic. I've got a London Terminals playlist, which is a playlist of all the routes that I've driven that have a London terminal. I will now be adding this to TrainSim World, so there'll be a TrainSim World London terminal coming soon to my playlists, and it will have all the TrainSim World routes videos that I've played that either start or end in London, and I will be doing it and putting them out in order. This is an important station as itself some major changes throughout history, and like other stations in the capital, see the main line railway mix with the flow of underground and overground passengers. It plays host to over 30 million passengers a year. Players with previous route add-ons featuring London Terminal will be able to use the TrainSim World 5's new route hopping feature to hop between them. So you can hop between different London terminals in route hopping. Oh, that's good. I thought it was just like end to end, like when you get to Brighton. I didn't know you could switch between different London terminals. That is brilliant. So, the routes where this is possible include South Eastern High Speed St Pancras International, London Underground Bakerloo line at Paddington, London Commuter at Victoria, and Great Western Express at Paddington. Bakerloo players will also be able to hop route between Queen's Park and Harrow and Willesden, which are stations shared across both routes. And again, hopefully, on the Bakerloo line, we will see the 350 and the Pendolino going up that line as well. We'll talk more extensively about route hopping, including all of the possible hopping locations across all routes in the next week's USA focused article. Beyond London, many stations within the Greater London area exist to accommodate the local and regional services heading out of Euston before heading further north to towns that were massively impacted by the arrival of the rails. On the horizon, landmarks like the BD Tower and Alexandra Road Estate will be seen. So here, there's a picture we've already seen before, and you can see the Alexandra Estate there, just towering over the Pendolino as the Pendolino makes its way out of Euston. The Wembley area sees many of the different types of railway lines meet, all overlooked by the iconic Wembley Stadium to the north. Nearby Wembley Central and Stonebridge Park play host to the underground and overground services, the latter playable for owners of the Goblin Route add-on, and Wembley Yard stables rolling stock ranging from the long freight trains to Class 390 Pendolinos. Between Chaddington and Leighton Buzzard is the inconspicuous Bridgego Bridge, sometimes referred to as Mentmore Bridge, which infamously became the location of the Great Train Robbery in 1963. At the northern end of the in-game route is Milton Keynes Central, where passengers are introduced to one of the Britain's post-war new towns that in real life features a rare American grid system of roads and a fresh contemporary take on the British suburban lifestyle. The trains. A fleet of trains, both new to TrainSim World 5 and those seen in previously TrainSim World routes, include in the West Coast mainline route, with deluxe edition players also being able to operate the sleek and modern Avanti West Coast Pendolino. So we got the Class 350 EMU, as we can see here. One's going to Trin, and the other one, it says, I think it's meant to be London Euston. So one's going away from London, one's driving into London. Bit hard to see with the lights there, but there's no driver in the cab and the one below going to Trin, and there is one in the cab above in the one coming to London. Although I've seen screenshots of trains going the right way and then not having any driver anyway, so a bit hard to tell. New to Train Sim World is the Class 350 EMU, adding yet another member of the larger Desaro family of trains in the game. First introduced in 2005, these trains operate various services from Euston, either beyond the map to locations such as Northampton and Birmingham, or to stations within the confines of the route such as Tring or Milton Keynes Central. So the 350, like I said, they do go to Birmingham, so hopefully they will layer on to Birmingham Cross City as AI. You might even be able to play it to 1 or 2 stations, like you can with the ScotRail train on the that goes from Glasgow to Edinburgh, but on the what's it called? On the 5 Circle line. So hopefully. So I was hoping we'd get a few new pictures, to be honest. A few new screenshots would have been nice. They're not enabled for third rail use. These units can be adapted to work via this method. No, through not enabled for third rail use, these units can be adapted to work via this method. On all West Coast mainline services, they are operated with overhead AC electrical power. Yes, because I did point out on one of the pictures I saw that it did have shoes for third rail compatibility. Guard controls are available through the train, enabling easy access for players utilising Train Sim World 5's conductor mode in service mode. We'll explain more about this feature further down. The Class 3... This is a new screenshot. The Class 350 will also make use of the digital display enhancements, interactive screen enhancements. So I'll start that again, sorry. The Class 350 will also make use of the digital display enhancements. Interactive screens have become increasingly common on newer trains, being introduced into Train Sim World, making their ease of use vital to the gameplay experience. Players will be able to zoom into the display by clicking on it, located awkwardly in the top right of the cab, and interact with the options such as lighting and view information like braking and driving force. Both speed and brake pressure are measured using traditional manual gauges. Advanti West Coast 390 Pendolino EMU, Deluxe Special Edition only. So if you get the Special Edition or the Deluxe Edition, you get this. Advanti West Coast Pendolino, iconic unit for the UK, fully refurbished by Advanti West Coast. 9 and 11 car variants included to represent the whole fleet. Primary traction on the West Coast main line for 20 plus years, collectively travelled over 300 million miles. West Coast Mainline, London, Milton Keynes, tilting technology to learn into curves, Advanti West Coast. Running regional high-speed services throughout the West Coast Mainline is much requested sleek tilting marvel, that is the Class 390 Pendolino. Born from the innovative tilting technology of groundbreaking test trains, these modern units have long been seen powering their way out of London and down to Britain's key towns and cities in the Midlands, north all the way to Scotland. So they need to change the wording as way out of London and down to Britain's key towns. No, you're not going down, you're going up. North is up, south is down. So it should be their way out of London and up to Britain's key towns and cities in the Midlands, north all the way to Scotland. Fire whoever wrote this, and fire whoever checked it. Or didn't check it. Advanti West Coast, a new operating Train Sim World, are the current custodians of these iconic trains, which are available for players of Deluxe and Special Edition of Train Sim World 5. Additional services will bulk out the platforms at London Euston amongst the Class 350s and give players a totally different experience passing through many of the intermediate stations at high speed. This train will come in both 9 and 11 car formations and will also make use of the digital display enhancements to better view the screen located bottom left of the driver's desk. Like the Class 390, both speed and brake pressure are measured using manual gauges. There's another screenshot that we've already seen before. Let's see if we can get a new screenshot, please. The Class 390 also comes equipped with tilt authorization and speed supervision, or TASS, which is a system unique to the West Coast Main Line. This system monitors the speed of tilting trains and allows them to travel slightly faster than non-tilting trains on certain sections of the track. Accompanying this are the EPS boards mentioned in the August roadmap, which I did mention in my videos. This shows speeds that apply only to trains with tilting enability, or with tilting enabled. Southern Class 377/2 EMU. Again, another screenshot we've already seen. Well, that is a new screenshot there, so thank you for giving us a new screenshot. As included in the West Coast Mainline route are Class 377/2 units operated by Southern. Unlike their contemporaries found on the previous London commuter route add-on, these utilise overhead AC electric for power and can be switched to third rail for use on other areas of the network. Let's hope the 377/2s will also be added into London commuter, so we can see them between Clapham Junction and East Croydon. The Class 377/2 is included in Transit World 5's West Coast Mainline route. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. But please, Dovetail, put the 377/2 into timetable mode in London commuter route, so we can drive it between Clapham Junction and East Croydon. I think East Croydon is the termini for the Milton Keynes Central line, so please add it in there. And we've seen this screenshot before. Additional freight services for PC and 9th gen console players, DB Cargo Class 99 diesel locomotive. So this is for the freight services for PC and 9th gen consoles only, meaning PS4 or old gen Xboxes, whatever letters they are, will not get this. For a change of traction to something bigger and noisier, the ubiquitous Class 66 is included. Though this locomotive has not changed much beyond improvements made from the previous Train Sim World add-ons, it does come in a new variation of livery. DB Cargo adding a red flavour to the train's palette on what is otherwise dominated by green shades of EMU. The DB Cargo Class 66 is included in Transit World 5's West Coast Mainline route for players of all platforms. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. For all information on timetable service, see further down the article. And this is a new screenshot here. London Underground 1972 Mark II stock. Of course we have in the Bakerloo line. The Bakerloo line does run up parallel to the West Coast Mainline route. Let's hope it's drivable from here on the West Coast Mainline route. An important aspect of the West Coast Mainline route is parallel running with a 7-mile stretch of the above ground London Underground Bakerloo line, including stations at Queen Park and Harrow and Willesden. The London Underground 1972 Mark II stock is included in the route, allowing players to play along a short stretch of the Bakerloo line, yes, even if they don't own any previous content. This provides a unique opportunity to drive trains with very different styles along the same route and adds more in-game traffic to what is one of the busiest stretches of line in the country. These trains will have updated lighting and rain effects for the use of this route. The London Underground 1972 Mark II stock is included in Train Sim World 5's West Coast Mainline route. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. So the updated lighting and rain effects will only be available on the West Coast Mainline stretch of the Bakerloo line. If you're playing on the normal Bakerloo line, you will not see this. So here we go. Timetables, layers, scenarios and gameplay. With so many trains operating and yes, we've seen that screenshot before. With so many trains operating many different styles of services and stopping patterns, a robust timetable has been created reflecting the amount of traffic that this busy stretch of the West Coast Main Line receives. As we mentioned in our roadmap article, see my previous videos, this has been one of the more complex areas of development, with so many trains interacting with one another from a signalling and pathing point of view. That's a new screenshot there, not seen that one before. That's a nice screenshot. These types of services available to operate in service mode include limited stop class 350 services to the likes of Crewe, Rugby, Birmingham, New Street and Northampton, all ending in game at Milton Keynes. All stop class 350 services to Bletchley, Tring and Milton Keynes Central. Class 350 ESC movements between Bletchley sidings and either Tring, Bletchley or London Euston, as well as between Camden sidings and London Euston. London Underground Bakerloo line services between Harrow and Willesden and Queen's Park, as well as some ECS moves at Stonebridge Park. Class 66 freight services, these arrive from off the map using the Willesden relief lines and then playable until they reach Milton Keynes. These are all formed of intermodal trains. Note, freight services will not be available for players of 8th gen consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The Class 66 will still be available to spawn and operate using free roam in timetable mode. Additional service layers include Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino service for deluxe special edition players to Glasgow Central, Manchester Piccadilly, Liverpool Line Street, Wolverhampton and Birmingham New Street, all ending in-game in Milton Keynes. So please can we see the Avanti in Glasgow Central, Manchester Piccadilly and Birmingham New Street? I know that it will only be AI, but let's see them there. Class 390 ECS movements between Wembley sidings and London Euston. Class 710 London Overground service for players who own the Goblin Route add-on along the entire length of the Lioness line from London Euston to Watford Junction. Yes, that's what we'd like to see. Class 710 ESC movements between Willesden Yard and London Euston / Watford Junction. That is also sweet. So we will be getting the overground service, the full line along the Lioness line. Pendolino services that do not stop at Milton Keynes will be included in the timetable as AI services. Good. AI layers for Cathcart Circle line route add-on. Oh yes. Trains in World 5 players that own the recently remastered Cathcart Circle line and the Class 380 EMU add-ons, which contains in its new timetable, will see layered Class 350 EMUs at Glasgow Central to represent a time that these trains were leased for use there. Oh wow, that's cool. The Avanti West Coast 390 Pendolinos also appear for players that own Deluxe and Special Edition. These local add-ons will release on launch day. Yes. Those Cathcart Circle layers for the Class 380 timetable and all services. Sweet! But it makes no mention of the 390 being layered onto the Manchester route or Birmingham route. So that's disappointing. That is very disappointing. New feature, conductor mode, guard mode. Seen that video before. New to Train Sim World 5 is the full conductor mode feature, which for the benefit of British players of British route we may occasionally refer to as guard mode, which it is guard mode. It's not conductor. Conductor is an American or European term. We say guard because it is the guard, train guard. This brand new way of playing in timetable service mode, as stemmed from feedback on our guard conductor scenarios introduced into the previous Glossip line and LIRR commuter route add-ons, which became some of the most played scenarios ever in Train Sim World. From the main menu, players will be allowed to select Guard as a playable mode, whereby the train is driven by the AI and the tasks required relate to those representative of a member of train crew across selected trains on the route. Players will be able to stand in the conductor guard position by any of the doors with a guard panel and operate the controls to open and close doors, notify the driver engineer that always clear and well and check passengers' tickets and clear the aisles of intrusive baggage. On West Coast Mainline, this includes using the guard buzzer on the Class 350 to notify the driver when ready to depart. Similar tasks are in place for conductor mode on both San Bernardino Line and Frankfurt Float. On San Bernardino Line, notifying the engineer comes in the form of blowing a whistle, which is done by pressing the horn key / button. In West Coast Mainline, guard mode is available on the Class 350, but not on the 390. Interesting. Coaches on San Bernardino Line will have a conductor mode available, as well as on the BR114 plus desktop sets in Frankfurt, Florida. We're also exploring the opportunities for implementing on other routes, including those announced for future releases, and will provide further information in a future update. Scenarios and gameplay, as we can see a new screenshot there. One going to London, one going to Milton Keynes. There will be a total of 8 scenarios available to play on the West Coast Main Line. 5 of these involve the Class 350, with 3 available for players with 3 available for players with the Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino add-on, including both deluxe and special editions of Train Sim World 5. That is disappointing. That is very, very disappointing. I expected more scenarios. I expected at least 8 for the standard edition. Because not only have you got the 350s, you've got the overground, you've got the underground, you've got the 66. So that's a bit disappointing. 3 new ones for the 390, kind of expected standard, although I would have expected maybe 4 or 5 for that, especially for the prices that we are paying. The Class 350 scenarios are Surface Saviour, where you're required to step in to drive a 350 in the absence of a driver. Football Frenzy, involving the movement of the passengers from the Wembley area. Back in Surface, requiring a coupling procedure to another Class 350 unit. Heavy Traffic, an ECS service. Carriage Collector, a service involving movement in a depot. So no London Overground scenarios, disappointing. No underground scenarios, disappointing. And for the Pendolino, you've seen that screenshot before. Refreshing Refurb, an ECS service. Wadford Bypass, which require your service to be diverted along slow lines. And Pendolino, which involves a service with the task disabled. There will be a series of collectibles to go and hunt down across the route, including defibrillators and posters. On top of that, there are some little delivery bots that seem to have lost their way. They can sometimes be seen roaming the streets of Milton Keynes in real life, but may have snuck onto station platforms in Train Sim World for players to find. What are delivery bots? I have no idea what they are. Players may also find some Dovetail FC football scarves to pick up that have been discarded by Wembley goers. Dovetail football scarves, oh my god. Oh. It's enough that we have Dovetail jackets in the game, and now we're getting Dovetail FC football scarves. Really, they're just copying Just Trains, really, with their Just Train stuff like Just Buses and Just Phone Boxes and Just Shops. So they're just ripping off Just Trains. Mystery challenges required you to perform certain tasks on the route, like completing certain scenarios or travelling a certain number of miles in specific locomotive. Tier 1 challenges unlock decals for use in Livery Designer. Tier 2 challenges unlock toggleable scenario tiles. Whatever the F that is. I'm getting a bit sick and tired of Tier 1 challenges just being decals. I've never seen, in the loads and loads of livery designed trains that the community makes, and I've looked at loads while trying to pick out ones that I need or want, I've never seen anyone use the decals that you unlock in Tier 1. We need better rewards for Tier 1 challenges, because that's just ridiculous, and I don't know what toggleable scenario tiles is. I mean, that's not even in game, is it? That's scenario tiles before you even enter the game. most tier 2 things is like adding something into the game, like a market or a street party or something, or planes flying overhead, you know. But that toggleable scenario tiles, that's just ridiculous. That is just absolutely ridiculous. The key art for West Coast Mainline, as shown earlier in this article, featuring the Class 377 and 350 EMUs, have some Bovian rail fans observing the trains as they move along the tracks. The unlockable Tier 2 mystery tiles for this route also features these friendly field dwellers at Milton Keynes, but not in the form you might expect. Live stream West Coast Mainline route preview. Can't wait to see the West Coast Main Line in action on Train Sim World 5. We'll be giving you the first look at the full 50 miles from London Euston to Milton Keynes, showing off the new Class 50, Class 377/2, and showcasing the Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino. I will not be watching that because when I get the route, I want to be completely surprised. We'll also be giving you a tour of the new core features as we go, so don't miss out, and set a notification for the stream on YouTube and Twitch channels, and we'll see you there. Like I said, I won't be doing it because when I play the route for the first time and drive the trains for the first time, I want it to be like complete first time reactions to it, you know. Pre-order Train Sim World 5 Deluxe Edition. Early access and loyalty discounts available on selected editions and platforms. Train Sim World 5, the rails are yours. Arrive in September 17th unless you get the special edition or deluxe edition, then you can play it 5 days early. Pre-order now on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam and Epic Games. Train Sim World 5 Standard Edition is £39.99, €44.99 and $49 and 99 cents. Train Sim World 5 Standard Edition includes Training Centre, Updated Training Centre, San Bernardino Line, West Coast Main Line, London to Milton Keynes, and a Frankfurt folder. Train Sim World 5 Deluxe Edition is £59.99, €74.99 and $74 and 99 cents. With the deluxe edition includes the Training Centre, the San Bernardino Line, the West Coast Main Line, London to Milton Keynes, Frankfurt folder, Avanti West Coast Pendolino, the Flix Train BR193 Vectron, and Cayon Pass. Train Sim World 5 Special Edition is a staggering £104.99, €190 and 99 cents, and $119 and 99 cents. But you do get an additional 5 previous unreleased DLC, and although it's a staggering amount to pay if you've got it, if you do not own the 5 routes, it is good value for money, as those 5 routes added up. If you add up those 5 routes and add it to the deluxe edition, you'll find it will cost more than £104 and 99 pence, €119 and 99 cents, and $119 and 99 cents. With that, you get the Training Centre, the San Bernardino Line, the West Coast Main Line, London Milton Keynes, Frankfurt folder line, Avanti West Coast Pendolino, the Flix Train BR193 Vectron, the Cayon Pass, and you also get the Kassel to Wolfsburg, the London Underground Bakerloo Line, New York to Trenton, the London Overground Goblin Route, and the Burnham-Struck Burnham to Oldenburg route as well. Find out more about Train Sim World 5 by following Train Sim World on Twitter, X, they don't reply to you by the way, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch and TikTok. Dovetail Live, join the discussion. Images displayed in this article may display content that is still in development. The licensed brands may not have been approved by their respective owners, and some artwork may still be pending approval. So the 350 looks to be unbranded. I've not seen any branding on there unless they're still working on that. But at the moment it is unbranded. I see no brands on there. Does that mean we can get other unbranded content in Train Sim World as well? Because I would love to see the 170 unbranded in cross-country colours, which could then layer on to Birmingham Cross City and be playable on the Midland Main Line route. I have to keep an eye on that on the future and see if there's any branding on those 350s when it is released. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe, hit that bell notification to keep up to date with all future content. And I shall see you in the next one. Take care of each other and see you soon. Bye for now.